All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to look past the usual stuff, habit trackers and willpower, to get to the real secret of making a change that actually sticks. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, setting the same goals over and over again, well, you're about to find out why it's probably not your fault. And, more importantly, how to break that cycle for good.
I mean, we've all been there, right? It's January 1st, you're feeling super motivated. But by the time February rolls around, yeah, not so much. So why is it so incredibly hard to make a change last? The answer isn't about just trying harder. It's about looking at the entire problem in a completely new way.
And this, right here, this really gets to the heart of it. We are obsessed with the column on the left. All the things we think we need to do. Go to the gym more, write every day. But the real magic, the secret to making it stick, is all on the right. Who do you want to be? See, the goal isn't just to do healthy stuff. It's to actually become a healthy person. Big difference.
And that leads us straight into what you could call the habit loop trap. This is that cycle where we focus only on our actions. And it's exactly why so many of our best intentions just end up leaving us feeling like we're spinning our wheels and getting nowhere.
This is the assumption we all make. We think, okay, if I just force myself to do this thing, if I just write every single day, eventually I'll become a writer. And, it sounds perfectly logical, doesn't it? But it's actually completely backwards. And here's why that whole approach usually falls apart. Your identity, those core beliefs you have about yourself, it acts like this massive gravitational pull. So if you're trying some new action that doesn't line up with how you see yourself, your identity is almost always going to win. It just pulls you right back to your old familiar habits.
So it's time to just flip the script. Instead of fighting against that gravity, what if we could change the source of the gravity itself? Because the most powerful, the most lasting change, it doesn't start with what you do. It starts with who you are.
So what even is identity? Really, it's just the collection of stories you tell yourself about yourself. Just think about it for a second. What are your I am statements? Things like, oh, I'm a procrastinator, or I'm just not a morning person. These beliefs, they are incredibly powerful, and they are unconsciously steering almost every single choice you make. And this might be the most important point of this whole thing. Real, lasting behavior change is identity change. As soon as you start to truly believe you are a certain type of person, the right actions they follow naturally. You don't have to force them anymore. They just become a reflection of who you now believe you are.
So that brings us to the actual solution, the identity shift. And I love this way of framing it because it's not passive at all. It puts you in the driver's seat. You become the active designer, the architect of your own self. This is the heart of it, right here. We're not just trying to tweak a few behaviors on the surface. We're going way deeper to actually rewire the fundamental story of who we are. It's really about consciously deciding on the I am statements that are going to serve the future you want, instead of just letting your old programming run on autopilot. And believe me, this is a much deeper, more profound level of change than just trying to start a new habit. Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do we, actually do it? Well, the key is both incredibly powerful and kind of surprising. It turns out it's not about what you add to your life. It's about what you take away. Think about it. Our default setting for self-improvement is always to add more. Add another book, add a new workout plan, add another project to the list. But what if all this adding is actually what's holding us back? This question right here is probably the single most powerful question you can ask yourself. Before you can build the person you want to become, you first have to decide who you're going to stop being. You have to clear out the old stuff to make space for the new. You can think of it like shedding an old skin. These are those old, limiting patterns that are rooted in identities we've been carrying around for years. To really become who you want to be, you have to consciously let go of these parts of you that are holding you back. You have to let that old self crumble. Okay, so let's get super practical. Here is a blueprint you can literally use right now to start designing your identity. And not just for tomorrow, but for the person you really want to be years from now. This 4-step process is your guide. It's pretty simple. First, you identify the pattern. Second, you give that limiting identity a name, something like the impatient perfectionist. Third, you make a very clear, very conscious choice to subtract it, to stop being that. And finally, number 4, you define what's going to replace it. Who are you going to be instead?
maybe the patient craftsperson.
And just to be super clear, this process isn't about feeling shame or regret for who you've been. Not at all. It's about being honest with yourself and acknowledging which patterns just don't serve the future that you're trying to build. This is an empowering, forward-looking act of designing yourself.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. Picture it. It's 2026. You've made incredible progress. You're a different person. The most important question you could ask yourself then isn't, what new things did you achieve? No, it's, who did you decide to stop being to make room for the amazing person you've now become?